Hey y'all, good morning. How are you? I hope you're having a great day so far. My name is Amanda Koonlaba, and today is Monday, which means it's time for Hey Teachers. If you're new here, well, hello to you. I'm Amanda, and on Mondays, I sit down and I have coffee and we chat about teachery things that have been, flitting about in my teacher noggin. So if you're a teacher, and you like chatting about everything, and I mean everything, from why the heck can't teachers get a gosh dang bathroom break to ways to use the arts to engage your students, then I definitely suggest you hit the subscribe button. It's that cute little red button right down there. You see it? You see it. Anyways, let's get started. So I recently wrote a little blog post about 5 things teachers should not feel guilty for. I'm almost out of coffee. I'm going to have to get some more coffee. I don't know. Everybody may not be like me, but I definitely had teacher guilt. Like, I felt like I had to do whatever it took to make things happen for my students. And that could get pretty hard sometimes. Even when you don't do that to yourself, there's enough pressure coming. There's enough external pressure that the job is hard. So you don't need that internal pressure either. And it took me a really long time to learn some of these things. But these 5 things are things that I do not believe teachers need to be feeling guilty about. And I'm speaking as a teacher and I'm speaking as a parent. I don't want my child's teacher worrying about this kind of stuff. So the first thing is ordering lunch to eat in front of your students. Yeah, believe it or not, I had a job one time where we were not allowed to eat special foods in front of our students. Now, I guess special foods was defined as something the students didn't get to eat or like ordered out food or whatever, but you don't need to feel guilty about that. Here's the thing. You are an adult and you have an adult job. You get up and you go to work, and 99% of other adults at their job get to order lunch every now and then and have it delivered, and they get to eat it during lunchtime. So you don't need to feel guilty about eating it in front of your students. So what if they don't get to eat it? They're not adults. They can eat the lunch they have. And I think that they have the capacity, the mental and emotional capacity to understand that. So your students will be fine. Now, if you work in a place where, let's say, you don't have, you're not allowed to order lunch, maybe try to figure out where that rule came from, and then try to figure out how to fix the problem. Or maybe just, if you're the type of teacher that can walk up to your principal and just ask, do it. Say, can we talk about ordering lunch, because morale is low around here and we need to do something. And I think this would help. Or maybe write a letter to your principal or your superintendent or whoever you think it is that would make that decision. And of course, always talk to your principal. Follow the correct chain of command and be polite and kind and everything. You're not trying to start a fire or anything, but I say just ask. And if you don't know, just order, ask forgiveness later. Yeah. So and don't feel guilty about it. Don't let anybody make you feel guilty about it. Here's another one, not responding to every email. So gonna have a sip for this one. You can't respond to every email. I've got 10,000 unopened emails right now in my email account on my phone. I'm not gonna ever get to all that. Some of it's just crap. Because I sign up for, I give everybody my email address and I sign up for literally everything. That's why I have so much crap in my inbox. But as a teacher, you're going to get a lot of emails and you may not be able to respond to all of them. Now, I'll tell you, 10 years ago, when somebody didn't respond to my email, it would make me upset. That was 10 years ago. You didn't have 10,000 emails in your email inbox 10 years ago. So what you need to do is you just need to have a system in your brain. Real quick, have a system for checking off. These are the ones that I can respond to next week. These are the ones I don't have to worry about. These are the ones I need to respond to by the end of the day. And these are the ones I got to respond to right this minute. Just filter through them and then don't worry about it anymore. And another thing is teachers should not be feeling guilty for not checking their emails at home. Here's a story. I one time, I don't think any of these people are still in the field, so I'm going to tell the story. There was a teacher who got an email while she was at home, and she responded to it. It was from a parent, and then the parent called her at like 9:45, and the teacher didn't answer the phone. So she had gotten an email and responded to it in the evening after school. But then when the parent who had gotten upset by the email tried to call at 9:45, the teacher was already getting ready for bed and didn't answer. Well, when this came up the next day at school, the teacher was told that since she had responded to her email, she should have made herself available at 9:45 for the phone call because she started it by responding to the email. Whatever. You don't need to be answering your phone at 9:45 at night. I don't answer my phone for anybody except my parents and my brother at 9:45 at night. And you can't. And guys, parents, teachers want to work with you, and we want to hear from you, just not at 9:45 at night. If you call me at 9:45 at night, I will call you back tomorrow. But don't answer emails at home. See, this goes back to the very beginning. Just don't answer the email. Don't check the email. If you check the email, you're going to want to respond to it, and then you're going to be in a mess. If you just don't check your email at home, you won't have to worry about responding to the emails. So don't feel guilty about it when you're at home. That's your time. And I know it's like, well, I got all these things I have to do and they expect me to do. I know that. I know. Nobody can take that time back for you except you. You got to do it. You got to do it. Okay. Now, here's another one. I hear from teachers that they feel guilty for doing this kind of stuff because they're so afraid they're going to get caught. Who is going to catch you? Your administrators? I mean, they come in to see if you're doing your job, I guess, but like, this is part of your job. So don't feel guilty about having to take a minute to reset your class. Like maybe somebody like has gas in the middle of class and everybody starts laughing and you can't get the control back. Okay, it's time to reset when something like that happens, and it's okay. When you need to take a brain break with your class, or you need to have everybody stand up and walk around for a minute or stretch, just do it. And don't be afraid that your administrator or whoever is going to walk in at that exact moment and think you've got everybody off task and you're not teaching. Yes, I have been in situations where I felt like that was what was going to happen if I did it. But you know what? I did it anyway because we're in the business of doing what's right for students. So you don't need to feel guilty as long as you are doing what's right for your students. And if you know that class needs to be reset, they need a brain break or something, just do it. If your administrator comes in, walk over to them and say, we're having to reset. We're having a brain break. If you need more information, see me after class. I'm teaching. And number 5, and this one, guys, I almost didn't write it because I know, like, I don't want it to sound overly negative. But correcting a student harshly. So here's the thing. I know no teacher wants to be mean to a student on purpose. We're not in the business of doing that. We care about students and we don't want to hurt them. But the thing is, we're human. And sometimes what comes out of our mouth can be harsher than we meant for it to be, or more sarcastic than we meant for it to be, or just doesn't come out right, just does not come out right. And it's okay to be like, I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I said it. I did not mean to say it that way, and I shouldn't have done that. But you don't have to feel guilty about it. I mean, because you can't feel guilty about every little thing. The reason I went ahead and put this in here, and I'm going to tell you a story. The reason I put this in here was because when I was a new teacher, I had a student who was very, very active. He had to be moving, and he moved constantly. Well, the moving didn't bother me, but the talking did. So he was constantly making sounds with his voice, and he was either talking to somebody or he's talking to himself constantly, and it was hard for me to concentrate. I would be trying to teach, and the child would be just constantly making sounds, and if it was distracting me, and knew it had to have been distracting some of the other students. So it was hard. And I love that child. Like, I still keep in touch with this child. He is a grown man now, but I cared for him very much. I mean, he was my student. It was in the first grade now. And this one day I was trying to have I was at my little reading table, and the student was standing in front of me, and she was asking me a question, and I was trying to respond to her, and I could not focus on the words coming out of my mouth because the sound over here, this little boy talking to himself. And before I knew it, I had looked at him. I said, "Can you just be quiet?" And I really, really snapped at him, where normally I would be like, "I need you to stop talking." You know, I would have been much more professional about it and kinder, just in general, just kinder. But I snapped. And as soon as I did it, I wanted to just, I thought, oh God. I mean, I was mortified about what I had done. And I mean, immediately I felt horrible about it. So I immediately apologized to him. But then after I got the other student what she needed, sat back down, I called my sweet little class together, and I was like, let's talk about what happened. Miss Koonlaba made a mistake. I should not have done that. I should never have done that. And we talked about it, and I apologized, and I don't feel guilty about it anymore. I know I made it right. So I think that's what the kicker is here. Like, sometimes we as humans say and do things that are too harsh. And then we can take it home and feel guilty about it, or we can try to make it right in the moment. So don't take it home and feel guilty about it. It happens. You're human. But if try to make it right, do what you can. So those are my 5 things that I don't think you need to feel guilty about. What would you add? Like, I'm sure there's a ton of other ones, but what would you add? Let me know your thoughts on that down below. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Try to hang in there. I know it's hard, but try to hang in there. Try to smile. Those kids need you. The world needs you. And I'm here for you. Let me know if you need anything. I'll see you next time. Bye.